Hello and welcome to FandomWire. I'm James, and today I'm going to be walking through all of the information that is currently known about Square Enix's upcoming Avengers game, which is set for a May 2020 release for PC, PS4, Xbox, and Google Stadia. So before I delve into this, if you do not want to know anything about the game's story, click away, because I will be talking about everything that we know so far about the narrative of the game. So the game opens on A-Day, which is a massive celebration for the Avengers, much like the Spider-Man celebration in Spider-Man 3. It's completely ruined, however, when Taskmaster shows up and attacks San Francisco. So for those of you who are well versed in American geography, you'll know that San Francisco is a city in America that lies on the west coast. This is important because when you swing by Avengers Tower in Insomniac's Spider-Man, Peter Parker will say, "Avengers Tower, so cool, too bad they're never around to use it. They're on the west coast or something, probably surfing." You also face Taskmaster as a villain in the Spider-Man PS4 game, so it's possible that that is the same Taskmaster that the Avengers fight in Square Enix's game. And then around the time that Spider-Man PS4 actually launched, Marvel Games executive Bill Roseman told GameSpot, Marvel's Spider-Man is intended to be the Iron Man of Marvel video games, so it's likely that that is kickstarting its own little universe in the video game world, and so the links that can be made are extremely important. So what we know is that 5 of the 6 original MCU Avengers are playable characters in that game. It's everybody but Hawkeye, so that's Black Widow, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man and Hulk. So unfortunately no Hawkeye yet. And they just announced at New York Comic Con that Miss Marvel will be the 6th playable character. She's also the one that the story is being told through, so she is very much the protagonist of the game, and she's been described as the glue that will bring the Avengers back together after everything went wrong at A-Day, and I'll be getting onto that just now. So there's 2 things that happen on A-Day, one of them's good, one of them's bad. The bad is that Captain America is killed, which fractures the Avengers. They're split apart and they go off to do their own thing in a world that now hates superheroes. But the good thing that happens is that Kamala Khan is infected with the Terrigen Mist and becomes the Inhuman known as Miss Marvel. It's clear that she's a Captain Marvel fan because she wears her logo on her shirt. So even if the game isn't connected to Spider-Man, we know Captain Marvel is out there somewhere, and there'll likely be teasers towards other heroes. There's also Hank Pym who makes an appearance. So the game seems to center around A-Day and finding out the truth about what really happened. So Kamala Khan is the one that uncovers that AIM are at the center of it all in a huge conspiracy. She brings this information to Bruce Banner, who takes her to Tony Stark to ditch her. However, she tries to get the two to come back together, so she's clearly hell-bent on bringing the Avengers back to fight this evil threat, because that's what they do. So beyond the story, we know a little bit about the gameplay. It's a co-op third-person action-adventure game with a few RPG elements. You can master extraordinary abilities, customize your heroes to fit your playstyle, and combine powers. There's also been some leaked costumes. We know that Captain America has an alternate costume that looks a little bit like his Secret Empire one, so for a character that dies in the opening, this is very interesting. How is he going to come back for gameplay if he's dead? We know that Hulk has a Mafia costume similar to the one he wore in the comics. Thor has one that's a lot more Nordic and mythical. There's also a Black Widow costume that's very leathery and it looks like the original. And there's Iron Man's costume from Original Sin, the gold and black variant. The game will feature quick-time events in an attempt to be more cinematic to feel like you're in a movie, and it's set to be 10 to 12 hours of gameplay unless you're a completionist, and then it'll take 30 plus hours. So the voice cast so far is Laura Bailey as Natasha Romanoff, Troy Baker as Bruce Banner, Nolan North as Tony Stark, Travis Willingham as Thor, Sandra Sard, who embodies the character incredibly, is Kamala Khan, Darren DePaul is Hulk, Jeff Shine is Steve Rogers. So that's all we know about the upcoming Square Enix Avengers games. But what do you want to see? What costumes do you want in the game? Let us know all your thoughts, whether you're hyped, whether you're going to get it or not. Let us know all of that stuff in the comments below. And thank you for watching. You can find FandomWire on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our own website.